All right, cyber traders, welcome on back this Monday afternoon, January 11th, to our Cyber Group Live professional trading room. I like to emphasize that, especially on a day like today. Great to see all of us live here inside the trading room, and for all of us on social media, welcome on back. Without further ado, I don't know where to really begin, but we have a lot to talk about, so let's hop right into it. PSTI, we'll start with this, just easy to start with. It's currently halted. Gives us the time to actually talk about this for a moment. So the news I actually just copied and pasted for all of us inside the chat board, at least. Just going to copy and paste for all of us in social media. It basically just saying, following ARK Investment Management discloses a 15.45% passive stake in PSTI. So that's just the reason as to why the stock is currently halted right now. The news came out, then it got halted off of volatility. So, we're waiting for this to reopen right now. It's up 5+%, barely meeting what we would normally want to see traded out of a stock at this time of the day. But, given the news right now, I don't mind just putting this on our side list, just come back to this maybe nearing the middle, maybe as we go from the top to bottom in a moment. All right, so there's a whole bunch of stuff happening, folks, in the world of politics. I like to say this because, we had a couple of us look to talk about politics here in our trading room. We're not here to spread any sort of political opinion. If you're looking to do that, we have plenty of rooms that we could recommend you to. For anyone looking to learn more about what's going on with the Capitol, storming the Capitol, and perhaps National Guard, all of that, CNBC, Fox News, any website that you would look to go to it, and they're talking about it. More or less, though, as far as what's going on, apparently there's a planned protest, or there's news of anywhere between January 16th through at least January 20th, and at the U.S. Capitol basically from that time, basically all 50 state capitals, and especially the U.S. Capitol itself. So, with that in mind, we'll see how the market reacts to it. Obviously, today and across this whole week, there's more to it aside from the Capitol and all of that going on out there as well. With the vaccine news and all of that as well. We also have just Governor Cuomo, and this actually pertains to the market here. A couple of stocks we tend to trade, right? Governor Cuomo gave his state of the state address, and that had to do with sports gambling in New York State. You wouldn't think outside the state that would really mean much, but for us here inside the trading room, we were following Penn National Gaming on the way up today. I know that Bonnie was calling out DraftKings on the way up today, pushed up nicely. So those are stocks that we will look to kind of follow up with, if not right away, then maybe keep on our radar, on our side list perhaps. So there's definitely a lot to talk about, especially in terms of politics. Again, we are a professional trading room. We'll look to have fun. We'll look to make money here. We'll look to keep the focus on the market. And if politics moves the market, we'll keep the focus on the facts, right, rather than the opinion. All right, so I like to just say that. Now, with all of that out the way, really what we'll do is just go from top to bottom. I'd like to just zip through the percent gainers and losers list here and see what we have. I mean, the PSTI could still be in play. We'll come back to that. DraftKings maybe we'll come back to. Looks like it kind of slowed down a bit after it ran up towards 54, up and over. We got a couple warrants out here to begin. GOVX, though, number 4% gainer right now, up 77+%. We've been familiar with this trade over the last couple of weeks, as you could see, going back into early December. Ended up making this huge pop from essentially like 250 all the way up towards almost 8. Dumped back down since that time. And with this move up here, once again, we ended up trading it going into the open, but ended up dying off shortly after. It ended up making like a second little move up, but ended up dying off from there too. For the meantime, it's like kind of perking up towards, 590, maybe on the way up to 6. I'm not as keen to put this on our main list at this point, folks. Just trading 47+ million shares. I don't know what the float is on this. I guess I'll check right now. Go on this scanner here in the meantime. A 3.27 million share float. That is needed to be known here because, if it was a higher float stock, maybe I'd say there's less of a chance of it being exhausted. But after the pump up, then dump back down, second run up, second dump back down, you're not going to get much of anything out of this trade. All right. Well, AVGR, I saw Norman call out just before in the trading room. Great call at the time, breaking over 150. Kind of shaking around it right now. So, no surprise to see it kind of top off 5 cents above it. I say no surprise for a lot of us that take our phase 2 stock course, because we talk about this a lot with increments and range, seeing a stock like this, like grind up from 105 all the way up to 135, pulling back down. ended up making a second run up here. Just looking at the order book and the move that this stock has made, it's easy to say on our end that the stock is trading 5-cent increments, 5-cent levels. So 150, 155, 160, 165. And that doesn't have to do with the price axis that you actually see. It just has to do with the stock itself. So in the meantime here, AVGR, definitely going to put this on our main list. I like this a lot heading into the close. Hopefully not exhausted at this point. I don't know what the float is on this one either. Right here, 881.72. So trading a little bit above its float, but in relation, right? Doing a little side by side between GOVX, however many million shares that was trading, 77 million, and then the AVGR here. This is trading above its float, but this is a much higher float stock compared to this one here, and this is just near the highs. So I'd rather focus on that. I see the warrants for it. I'm going to jump to it in just a moment here, folks. Ride. That's what is that? Lordstown Motors. We were familiar with that trade with WKHS. I see the warrants up like 50+% here. I don't think we're going to get to those, but we'll jump to the actual stock itself in a moment. TRXC pretty exhausted, up and down it went. ALRN probably same thing. Yep. DFFN, I saw Norman call out also. Norman, helping me out here inside the trading room today. Nice pop from $1 all the way up towards high. The day 132 has had a tough time basically clearing above 10-cent level 130. So for the meantime, yeah, DFFN easily. We'll just put this on our main list. I don't know what the news is here. Kind of at this point, like I'm just going to skip over the news, really. I mean, this is just trading right the way that we would want it to. So no news needed here at this point, folks. This is a nice push. I will say, though, aside from 130 as to where I would assume resistance, your high of the day is holding really well, so you have to consider that as a level. But also on top of that, though, you have a 22.5 thousand share iceberg order sitting there. So, that actually is a strong top. Watt, WATT. This one was pretty good for us earlier today. Obviously, now it doesn't seem to be doing too much. Nice run up from the market open, basically 250. I saw this early on from my Benzinga Pro. I was in and out on this a few times. I forgot exactly the whereabouts in and out. I took a loss. I jumped back in. I believe it was when it broke over. Maybe it was like 280, I think it was. 285 here. I left a lot of money on the table, but still, it was a decent trade for a lot of us inside the room. PSTI, here we go again. Number 21 now on the percent gainers list, up 24% now. Got halted again. Reopened up, got halted again here at 2:34 Eastern time. So there we go. So, I mean, definitely we'll put this on our main list. Hopefully it doesn't fizzle out, though, quick. I mean, the more it gets halted on the way up, it's more likely to get halted on the way down. When it gets halted on the way down, that's usually the end of the run. End of the ride, no pun intended, or maybe. Ride, Lordstown Motors here. Here's the push I wanted to talk about. So, the warrants are up more percent-wise, but I'm going to copy and paste the news while I can here. I feel like this is more important. So let's see. Lordstown Motors trading higher after the company announced a 100,000+ share pre-order for its all-electric pickup truck for fleets. Couldn't hear me there. That's the news for all of us in social media. Nonetheless, though, Ride, obviously, nice push earlier today. Kind of pulling back right now, but still very tradable. A bit of a spread, but not too big. Order book fairly liquid. So, it's not level 1. It's definitely more of like a level 3 to maybe even 4 stock. But I like this right now heading into the afternoon. Definitely will put our focus on this. Alongside Ride, I will just, in sympathy, check out Workhorse, WKHS. The EVs had a hot morning today with NEO and NEO Day today early on. We'll jump to that one perhaps in a moment. This one not doing too much, though, for us. All right, so Ride we'll put on at least, and we'll see what else we get. I saw a call out here from one of us, Steven, asking about Blink, and I called that out before, too. Blink ended up pushing up over. Whew, look at this now. I guess my call out was a little while ago. It was holding underneath 50, ended up blasting over 50 much earlier, around 1 o'clock Eastern time, and now running. So, yeah, definitely. Great call, Blink. This is certainly more of a level 5 stock. Big spread, lack of liquidity on the books. So, kind of comparing the two, Ride and Blink. Ride more level 3-ish, I'd say. This definitely, albeit more expensive, just bigger spread, less volume on the book to work off of. So got to be careful on a trade like this. Now, if I'm going to compare that to Blink, compare that to Neo. Neo is even more expensive, but Neo actually has more volume on the book, right? Trades more shares per day, more liquidity, consistently tighter spread. So don't get me wrong, this one's not level one really either, but this one definitely is a bit less volatile compared to Blink. All right, what else do we have here, folks? Bingo ended up making a push earlier today in pre-market, and then I guess more so heading into the late morning, early afternoon off of 5:30, ran up pretty nicely to make that second push. All right, Staples to buy Office Depot, rumor at least ended up making the big gap up early on off the news in pre-market. Mark, pretty slow, not the student, but the stock. I always like to joke around when I say that. The stock itself, though, obviously, Remark, MARK. SGBX had a nice push earlier today. Fizzled out, though, as you could see, off high of the day, 720. All right, folks, I think that just about does it on the gainer side. Markets like kind of up and down. So the last week or so, we've had great direction heading into this time of the day, whether it be up or down. But, if there's anything that you see name brand, anything that you see that's up or down significant enough for us to focus on, then call it out in the chat board. And look over to the losers list here first. With Bitcoin down big, I may as well get to my kind of a patented Bitcoin minute here, right? Got BT down over 25+% and kind of near the lows heading into the close. So if you're able to short this, I would say definitely put this on your main list, but it's hard to borrow. I don't think many of us can get the shares. At this time, let me just kind of transition back to my Binance chart for all of us here live. Oh, actually, give me a quick sec. I forgot for all of us inside the trading room, you're not able to see this just yet. Give me a split moment here, folks. All right, so for all of us inside the trading room, you should be able to see my Binance chart right now, Bitcoin, right? I know social media is good. Good. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to move back soon, though. But Bitcoin obviously ended up taking a huge hit over the last 24 to 48 hours. Broke off from basically 41.95 here, 42,000, dropped all the way down to basically right over 30,000 here. So I put a couple of moving averages up on my chart here just to show when it comes to following Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin, it's a lot more difficult to use order flow. I know actually level 4, so to say, Bookmap, they offer ability to track some cryptos, and that can be helpful. But on a long-term basis, the moving averages I really like to use. So really quickly, you got a 50 hundo, 2 hundo moving average. I also have a 6-hour chart up. I'll play around at times between a 1 hour, 6-hour chart. So this being a 6-hour, ended up making a big dive off. You can see it bounced right off the 100 EMA that I have up here. Sharp bounce up at that time. It's really the first time since maybe back mid-December, early to mid-December, to where it ended up even teetering around that 100 moving average. So, there could be more to come. There could be a potential test of the 200 if the markets fall off, on a consistent matter. Obviously, I'm not hoping that's the case. So at this point, I'm still very bullish long term. I'm still going to hold on to my positions. They always say hold on for dear life, HODL. I guess that's the abbreviation for it. Just wanted to acknowledge, obviously, the big drop off in Bitcoin. For as bullish as I am long term, and for as much as you've heard me preach about it the last week, obviously, I'm going to talk about the drop off here. So, it ended up bouncing off this big moving average, the 100 EMA on the 6-hour chart. Hey, for anyone else that follows crypto, you could chart the same way as you would a stock. So that being that you could follow a 6-hour, a 1-hour chart, a daily chart. You could use different moving averages. It's all opinionated, all based on what you tend to follow the best. But I find this pretty interesting, though. At least there could be more room to go depending on how the overall markets perform. All right, give me a split sec, folks. I'm going to actually rewire this for all of us inside the trading room. Just give me a split moment. That's all. Give me 1 second here, folks. Oh, I might have to just do it this then. All right, that's fine. All right, I'll reset it in just a moment, folks. We're almost done anyway. I don't want to kill much time. All right, so with that in mind, BTBT, just to start off the losers list, just obviously at the lows right now. If you can short it, that would be a very good opportunity, I'd say. Alongside that, though, Riot, RIOT, it's not at the lows nearly as weak as that BTBT stock, but bouncing off of 2250-ish right now. This line 2224 I had from Friday's trading last week. So in the meantime, Riot, I don't mind slipping on our main list. Just a very volatile stock. Riot, Mara, both of them similarly. At least I know a trade station you can short Riot if the markets fall off more, if Bitcoin falls off more, perhaps in the next hour. I don't think that will happen personally, but we'll see. Just tradable, provides good opportunity. Let's see what else we got here, folks. And by the way, for all of us inside the trading room, if the screen projection is slightly blurry again, we'll get that fixed afterwards. KPTI kind of near the low of the day, very much so shortable. Tight spread. Just seems like it's been so sluggish here the last 15, 20 minutes. So, I'll kind of keep this on the sidelines for right now. Maybe come back to it in the next 10 or so minutes. I'm not going to put this on our main list just yet. All right, from Norman here, he's saying Bimmy worth watching. Yeah, that's right, Bimmy. Nice push right now, pushing up pretty nicely since 2 o'clock Eastern. Maybe this was creeping up on the gainers list as we were going through. Great call. Yep. All right, good folks. I'll tell you, actually, we have a list of a lot of volatile stocks. Mara, Riot, Blink, PSTI, Ride. Those are level 3 stocks minimum, right? So for any of our new trial members here, and really as a new trial member, you shouldn't really be trading our picks. Just kind of sit back and observe. And I don't really mean that in a bad way. We just don't want you to lose money. Once you're really educated and going through our classes, you'll have a much better idea as far as why our students are pulling the trigger when they are. And for all of our students here, I will say, I was going to say before, we now at least have a couple of level 1 to 2 stocks. BIMI, I really like heading into the close. AVGR, I like that one as well. DFFN, those are slower movers for you heading into the afternoon. Aside from that, though, as I said before, a lot of volatility heading into this afternoon between those that we have on our list. So trade with caution. I'm going to sit on my hands for the next 5 or so minutes, wait for the opportunity to come to me, and then bite on it. All right, folks, for all of us inside the trading room, I'll be back on the mic soon, back in probably about 15 or so minutes. For all of us on social media, if you'd like to learn more about Cyber Trading University, just make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and then from there, feel free to join us Monday to Friday right here in the Cyber Group Trading Room. Take care.